Oh, Father, tell me, do we get what we deserve? Oh, we get what we deserve. And where down we go, oh, 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 where down we go, oh, 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 oh. So where down we go, oh, way down we go. Oh, Father, tell me, do we get
Welcome to Sister to Sister.
Lily Christ.
From my aunt. What the fuck was that we just played?
I don't know.
Welcome to Bible Study Tuesdays. And, just to explain a little bit of what you saw in the beginning, I just want to show how Hebrew Israelites like to play on the emotions of Black people, because we have been through a lot of bullshit. We have been marginalized. We have been in slavery. We have been fucked over, but they play on all these true things, get you to feed into the Bible and its rhetoric on pretty much reverse slavery. So let's get into today's Bible study.
Audio is low.
You can't hear us? Shit.
Can you hear us now?
Turn up the audio. People need
Increase
to hear
it,
this.
maybe. Let me see.
Should I repeat what I just said, or did you hear what I said? Or is it you heard what I said?
I think he heard.
Okay, but yeah, that's pretty much how they like to. Is that better? Is it because I'm super far away? Maybe I should
Probably.
But
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So let's get into today's Bible study. What's the Bible study today? We're doing Isaiah 14. We really wanted to focus on verse 2, but I understand Hebrew Israelites hate when we pull scripture out of context, so we can read a lot of it.
You gotta speak like them too.
I don't know how to speak like them. All right, I'll try to speak like them. Isaiah 14, verse 1. Shit, is that how they do it?
Yes.
Okay. Verse 1.
Right.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So this is pretty much describing that they'll choose Israel, but there'll also be strangers along with them that pretty much cleave on to the Hebrew Israelites. So these people won't be tortured in hell forever because they're pretty much the Israelites groupies. So we're going to read into what happens to those who are not Hebrew Israelites, but they fuck with the Hebrew Israelites. And the people shall take them. By the way, this is verse 2 in chapter 14 of Isaiah. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
Calm.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Right.
So here we see that, they're not going to be head honcho like Israel will be, but they'll get to be the handmaids and servants of Israel. So that's one way you can go if you're not an Israelite. So let's say you're a good white person who
Want to go
does a
back to
lot
the
of
scheme?
charity and you know does great things in life. If you're a person like that, then you get a chance to be a handmaid or a servant to Israel. But for those who are considered oppressors, or I think it's been explained to me, if you're upholding the laws in which the slave master put forth, so you're pretty much not stopping anything, you're keeping it going, then you'll also be slaves. So white people who are helping the government do whatever they're doing to people, you're going to be slaves in the end. So let's talk about this and how weird it is,
Con.
Con. Con.
That's their favorite
But
word.
pretty much I just don't know why we follow shit like this. I understand we're hurt. I understand that we've been through a lot, but I don't think reverse slavery is the way, one, because a lot of these white people, they're just as ignorant as the black people out here. They're just following it along. They don't really know, really. They might know about their white privilege, but come on now, if something good is happening to you, are you really going to complain about it? Like, come on now. Like, most black people, if you hit the lottery today, nobody will know where you are tomorrow. So let's stop pretending like if we don't have the upper hand, we don't take advantage of it. I think that's humans in general. I think we just need to sit back and try to be better personally before we start trying to point the finger about who's oppressing us. And I feel like the Bible makes people not take responsibility for their own bullshit. So like you see in the beginning of the video we played, like it pretty much plays on the fact that yeah, we've been enslaved, we've been fucked over by white people in general, a lot of white people, but it's pretty much negating the fact that slavery's over and now we have to start doing what we got to do. And if the Israelites are so numerous and so powerful, why aren't we dismantling these very systems that you're claiming are punishments? Because like this is all a punishment, right? If you believe this Bible, like all this is happening to you for a reason. You disobeyed God, so this is a punishment. So really, like, why should white people be enslaved after the fact if they're just doing God's will anyway? So all the way around, it just doesn't make sense to me.
It don't make sense, and how the fuck can you identify us as Hebrew Israelites either? Like it's just they just don't make any sense either. Let's remove them.
Mm-hmm.
It makes us feel like we superior when we in prison. Many are hurt, so they claim to be godly and better. Facts.
No, like we like you got to recognize energy is within everybody. Like I know it makes us feel better to think like white people are doing this to us because they're not human and they're evil, blase blase. But I mean, even if they weren't like our species of human, they still contain consciousness and energy. So at the end of the day, that energy can be positive, negative, and somewhere in between, and it can change. So stop making it seem like white people were born to destroy black people and this is a punishment, and someday it'll be in reverse. Like it's just all fuck shit. We all need to just fix our energy, white and black people. you know but what do you got to say about that, Con?
Everything you said was pretty much correct. We trying to make it short and cute with these Bible studies. Because
Yeah,
be bullshit. We really gonna have episodes of Hebrew Israelites. This shit's gonna be so fun. I can't wait. Like,
yeah, I mean, and then I know a lot of Christian apologists, they don't really take the scripture the way we're saying it. So, I understand there are some Christians who believe in God and don't think that's what the scripture means. I'm personally just saying it in a Hebrew Israelite standpoint. Like they really take this scripture and say this is what's going to happen to those who are not Israelites. If you cleave on to Israel, let's just say like you're not a bad person, you fuck with the Israelites, but you're not an Israelite, then you get to be our servants and handmaids. Meaning they believe that good white people are pretty much born to be in servitude to black people. Like Israelites were pretty much the people who were chosen and are supposed to rule over the world. And I just think that's weird because there's really no real difference in terms of humans. There's differences, but like I said, we all contain consciousness and energy.
facts.
So how do you know that they're born to be servants and vice versa? It just the logic behind it is weird, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's very weird. And
So-
they force feed people this bullshit to join their cults.
it is a cult.
It's a fucking
it's a
cult.
cult. There's no other explanation.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love seeing black people come together, but not for this shit. You know, just not for this. This is not it at all.
I just imagine Hitler, you know, saying some shit like this, you know, like, yeah, we're cursed and they're oppressing us right now, but 400 years later, we're going to be able to do this and that. Like, I can imagine Hitler saying that to his people to, you know, justify murdering all those Jews. And I feel like that's what's going to come about, you know, if the Hebrew Israelites take over, they're going to put it in people's minds that black people are supposed to be dominant. You know, which I can't really argue with. There's more black people than white people. I feel like we're more of a peaceful people. But the way they're explaining it in the Bible, they're pretty much saying take over the white people, make them your slaves, servants, handmaids, and everybody else is going to burn in hell for not paying attention to the Bible. Blase, blase. I just feel like it's more likely that aliens are going to come than God.
Already aliens are here.
I don't want to talk about that. I'm just saying, like.
And also, I forgot what I was about to say. Honestly, it just went out my head. Con. Oh yeah, it was about Hitler. They said Hitler killed all the Jews because he said Hitler killed all the Jews people because he was making a way for the black Jews or some bullshit. That's what I heard.
That's what the Israelites say.
That's what a lot of people say. Like
I think I heard some weird shit like that. Like, yeah, Hitler was right because he knew that the black people were the actual Jews.
Yeah, that bullshit.
And that's why he helped exterminate them. Like, no, Hitler was trying to be an imperialist, like you guys are. Like, you're pretty much using the Bible to say that all the land is yours, and you know you guys are the rightful rulers, and that's just weird and wrong. And it's just this. How old is this book? Like, can we just
410 years old? I think.
I mean, okay, King James Version Bible, yeah, but we'll let other people argue like that's not where it came from. It came from the scrolls and blah blah blah. Okay, so technically speaking, if you want to go by whatever these Dead Sea Scrolls or papyri that you think the Bible came from, it's no older than about like 2,000-3,000 years old. Why can't we make something else up? Like, we know a lot more shit than we did back in the day. Like, you know, they was burning people at stake because they thought they were witches, according to the Bible. Because you're supposed to kill witches, right? Voodoo is, all that shit is, like, you're not supposed to do it. So it's just like, why are we going based off of something that we know, like, there's better options than murdering people? You know, there's problems in the world, but burning people at stake, murdering people is not really a good option now that we have more information in life. So I'm okay with making up a new Bible. You know what I mean? One that makes sense. One that doesn't say that water was created before the stars. That doesn't make sense. You know? Like,
that's what it says?
Yeah.
Water was created before the stars?
Yeah, we can go to Genesis 1. It says, what, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth was without form. Now, when they say heavens, imagine like an empty heavens, not the star-filled heavens, just space, I'm guessing. So the heavens were created, space was created, and then earth was created. So first of all, we all know that that's not like space. There's stars way older than earth. Okay, we know this. But in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form, and the Spirit of the Lord moved about the waters. So it was implying that there was waters on the earth before an actual star. So that right there, like, if you pay attention to science, you know that we need fusion to take place in the center of a star to create hydrogen. You know, helium has to fuse together in order to make the heavier element oxygen, which is one of the components to water, which is hydrogen, oxygen, H2O. So we know that stars are before water, right?
Right.
So, right? So
it's just bullshit. How much bullshit?
It's not logical, really. And then I believe that the Bible points to alien life anyway.
Let's get to that on the next Bible study. It's gonna go deep.
Yeah, just study the word Elohim, and then we'll get to it on the next Bible study. But I think the Bible is implying not a singular God. I think imperialists try to make it like that so they can take over and control people's idea of heaven, hell, and life after death, more of a control situation. But back in the day, it was multiple gods, and even the word Elohim will even point to that because the word is plural, and that's the word that's used often in the Bible for God, and throughout translation, it's been just translated into God. Sometimes it's gods, but it just depends on how you use it. But bottom line, the word in general is plural. So just something to think about. But yeah, so that's our Bible study pretty much today. We just pretty much wanted to point out what's going to happen to everybody who's not of Israel.
That's not it though. It gets deeper.
It does get deeper.
But we're going to go into that next.
Yeah, so just know handmaid servants. So be nice to the Israelites.
Mm-hmm. Maybe you get in the house. Maybe what is it? They call it
house Negro, right?
They used to call us a house Negro. We're going to call them house aliens.
I think it'll be like house European or
okay.
I don't want to say anything too rude.
Yeah.
I was gonna say house cracker, but that'll be the equivalent to Negro, right? Mm-hmm. Cracker, Negro, like both.
Whatever. You know why they called us them crackers, right?
Because they cracked us in the back.
Yeah.
With the lips,
okay.
Right?
I thought you. Okay. All right.
Cool. I know a little bit. But yeah. Isaiah 14. Yeah. Those who cleave to Israel, even though you're not Israel, you're not of the bloodline. You just cool with us. There's some nice things that happen to you. You get to be the servants and handmaids. You won't rank higher than that. You'll always either be a servant or a handmaid. And if you want to say fuck that bullshit, you're gonna burn in hell. So think about that. Or like I said, we can make up something right now that makes sense. Because people are people. Everybody's energy can change. Everybody got negative energy. Everybody got positive energy. I feel like I'm God and the devil. Just depends on the situation. So
depends on the situation.
We just all need to be more like God. So yeah, that's the end of Bible study. Peace and love. Isaiah 14, verse 2, really. But you can read that whole thing. It gets worse as you read down. Just read all the way down, man. Mm-hmm. They're talking about they don't care about killing babies. They don't care about nothing. So if you don't cleave to Israel, just read that shit and see what's going to happen to your kids.
Yeah, see what's going to happen.
All the way down. Chapter 14.
All right, well, that sums up today pretty much for Bible study. Lily Christ.
Rama'at.
And we will see you next Tuesday. I mean, we won't see you sooner than that, but next Tuesday for the next Bible study.
Yeah, next Bible study. Bye.
Bye.
Love you.